Hey folks, welcome back. In this video, we'll take a look at 1-point and 2-point perspective within the same composition. And you can see this example here that was shown in the thumbnail. We're going to attempt to go ahead and boil this down into the very basics. And in the next video, we'll actually incorporate some of those techniques to create a more elaborate composition. So let's get right into it and look at the very, very basics here. Let's start off by understanding what 1-point perspective is. 1-point perspective means you have one vanishing point and you have some kind of a horizon line. Horizon line is where the sky meets the ground. And we can move that horizon line, assuming that this white rectangle represents our compositional area. If we move the vanishing point lower, we can see more of the sky, and if we move the vanishing point higher, we can see more of the ground. So the basic takeaway here is that I can place this vanishing point wherever I wish within my composition, as long as it's on the horizon line. So when we know that, how do we then proceed? Well, think about the vanishing point as kind of like a beacon, and you have rays that emanate from this vanishing point in all directions. And I'm just freehanding this stuff so we can focus on the mechanics of it. And we can see that we have all of these lines, and we can extend these lines as high up as we want, like so. And they're all extending out from vanishing point 1. Let's drop the opacity of that layer. And now let's consider this idea of what 1-point perspective actually looks like. So I'll just go ahead and maybe I'll pick this point right here. I'll create a parallel line, 2 vertical lines that are parallel to each other, and then we'll use the rays to connect the top and bottom edges. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have parallel lines that extend horizontally, and all our vertical lines are going to be parallel. And we're just using the rays for all of the lines that are going to converge to the vanishing point. Now, this is not meant to be a detailed, video on 1-point perspective, but these are the basics. We have to understand the basics before we can move forward. So that's 1-point perspective. And of course, if I put this at ground level with the horizon line, that means we have something like this. If we place an object in 1-point perspective below the horizon line, now we have to imagine another ray coming out. And so all of these edges that I'm denoting here are converging towards vanishing point 1. We can see one is a worm's eye view where we're looking up at the object. One is a level view where we're pretty much on the same point of view as the object. And one is where the object is being looked at from a bird's eye perspective. Now, keep that in mind, and let's take a look at 2-point perspective here. And we'll just come up with a very simple scenario. So we've got a line, and 2-point perspective means you have 2 vanishing points. And just like 1-point perspective, I can move this line to see more of the sky or more of the ground. Let's consider a very, very simple example here. We'll keep the line somewhere lower. And on a new layer, I'll just create rays that extend from vanishing point 1. And you can make as many rays as you want, whatever you feel like you need. And these are not perfect because I'm just freehanding this. But I do talk about making your lines more precise in some of my earlier videos. You can definitely watch that. So I've got those rays here, and just for the sake of convenience and speed, I'm going to duplicate those rays. I'll hit Command T, and I'll right click, and I'll just flip horizontal because I'm feeling lazy. And we'll move those vanishing points. We'll move it like so. And let's merge those layers together. We'll pick a blue color so we can see what we're actually creating here. And we'll draw some parallel lines that are vertical. And the big difference here between 1 and 2 point perspective is the left rays converge to the left vanishing point, and the right rays will converge to the right vanishing point. So we have to extrapolate and say, okay, imagine I were to connect this point to this vanishing point. What would that look like? It would look like something like that, right? And then I can just simply extend this down. I'm utilizing the grid or the rays from each vanishing point to help me create my structure. Same thing over here. Let's just go ahead and create a couple of vertical lines. And in this case, we're not really seeing the bottom of this building because those rays are off the page, right? I'll just put one more in. All right, so we've got our 2 point perspective. So in this scenario, I think it might be better to start out with a 2 point perspective drawing first. And if we're having a flying vehicle or a character or what have you, we can put that on 1 point perspective. So start out with 2 point perspective and then add your 1 point perspective. So if I wanted to have, say, a vehicle that is traversing this particular space, then what I can do, and I'll pick green since I haven't used green yet, I will just establish, say, a vanishing point. Maybe I want the vanishing point for my vehicle to be over here. I'll then create my rays that go in all directions from the vanishing point. Doesn't look pretty, but it works. And then I can, picking a different color here, I'll just create my box. I'll have this object here. And all of our left leaning lines are going towards vanishing point 1. So if I combine the two now, if I just get rid of, well, you can see here, I can take this object now and I can move it into position. As long as it's above my horizon line, it's fine. Why? Because this is a worm's eye view. I'm looking up at this box. So it would look weird if I moved this box below the horizon line. It wouldn't make sense. So as long as it's placed anywhere above the horizon line, it will look like it feels like it belongs. And a bonus tip, you can always use the transform tool and you can rotate this. So if you wanted to have something incoming, like maybe it's, I don't know, like some kind of a rocket ship that's kind of moving towards, you know, some kind of a structure or building, you can do that. And if I wanted to have something where I'm seeing more of the top of the object in 1 point perspective, then I would obviously have to place it below the horizon line. So we're going to be looking at this principle a little bit more carefully. In the next video, it'll be me creating a scene that incorporates both 1 and 2 point perspective using these concepts here. And I find that those videos are easier for me to create if I'm doing the thing and then going back and adding a voiceover. So that's what you'll see in the next video outside of this one. So if this video gives you some value, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people find the videos. Again, my name is Krishna. Thank you for watching the videos, and I look forward to bringing value in the next one. So see you then. Thanks.